I'm Muskan Babar, and you are watching my YouTube channel FactZone. The Earth has always been a world of change, a living planet that breathes, shifts and evolves. But now, it feels as if our planet is burning. Forests that once stood green and proud are turning to ash. Ice that once held the memory of millennia melts into restless seas. And in the quiet corners of the world, deserts, mountains, cities, and oceans, life is learning to adapt once again. This is the story of resilience, the story of a planet on fire and the fragile lives that endure within it. The question that guides us is simple, yet profound. How does life continue to thrive, even as the world around it grows hotter, harsher, and more uncertain? Over the past century, the planet's average temperature has risen by more than 1 degree Celsius. It sounds small, just a number, but in nature, small shifts can change everything. The rhythm of the seasons, the flow of rivers, the heartbeat of entire ecosystems all now play to a different tune. In the Arctic, vast sheets of ice once stretched endlessly across the horizon. Now, they crack, melt, and drift into the sea. Polar bears walk longer distances, searching for food. Seals rest on shrinking platforms of ice. And indigenous communities, those who have lived in balance with these frozen worlds, are watching their home dissolve beneath their feet. As ice melts, oceans rise. From Bangladesh to Miami, from the Pacific Islands to Venice, waves creep closer to the doorstep. Some islands are already gone, their histories submerged beneath salt water. Others will follow, not in centuries, but in decades. Far from the poles, deserts too are growing. The Sahara stretches wider each year, swallowing grasslands and pushing people north and south in search of fertile ground. Across the globe, once green farmlands now bake beneath relentless suns. Where there was once abundance, scarcity now flows. The great rivers, the Ganges, the Nile, the Colorado, struggle to reach the sea. Dams, droughts, and heat combine to choke their lifeblood. Villages that depended on their flow now face dry beds and broken hopes. Invisible, but vital. The very air has changed. With higher temperatures come new dangers. Smog thickens, wildfires fill the sky with ash, and the oxygen of forests is replaced by carbon and smoke. Breathing, once effortless, has become a daily challenge in many parts of the world. The Amazon, the lungs of our planet, has burned again and again. Australia's eucalyptus groves have glowed red under dark skies. Even the cool forests of California have become tinderboxes. Trees that once cooled the earth now ignite it. Beneath the waves, coral reefs, vibrant cities of life are fading. Bleached by heat, suffocated by acid, they crumble into silence. Fish lose their shelter. Coastal people lose their food. The ocean, once a cradle of life, feels the fever of a warming world. Yet, even here, life does not surrender. Penguins migrate to new breeding grounds. Birds shift their flight paths northward. Whales dive deeper to escape the heat. Each creature writes its own story of adaptation, a quiet defiance against extinction. In the mountains, trees climb higher slopes, following cooler air. Flowers bloom weeks earlier than before. Some species vanish, but others endure, changing leaf by leaf, root by root, reshaping themselves to fit a new world. And what of us? From the crowded streets of Mumbai to the quiet farms of Kansas, humans too are learning to adapt. Some build barriers against rising tides. Others invent crops that can thrive in drought. And many, simply, move, becoming climate refugees in search of a future. And what of us? From the crowded streets of Mumbai to the quiet farms of Kansas, humans too are learning to adapt. Some build barriers against rising tides. Others invent crops that can thrive in drought. And many, simply, move, becoming climate refugees in search of a future. Warmer climates bring new threats. Mosquitoes travel further, carrying illnesses once unknown to colder lands. Heat waves strain hearts and minds. The human body, like the planet, reaches its limits. High above, the glaciers that feed our rivers are retreating. Without them, water security for billions is at risk. The Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps, they all weep in silence, their ancient ice turning to streams. Yet, not all stories are of loss. In the deserts of Nevada and Morocco, vast solar farms now turn sunlight into energy. Wind turbines dance across the plains of Texas. Scientists grow meat without livestock, and engineers pour water from thin air. Humanity, though late, is learning to heal. Long before the term climate change existed, indigenous peoples understood balance. The Inuit, the Maasai, the Aboriginal Australians each held ancient knowledge of weather, migration, and renewal. Today, scientists return to that wisdom, seeking harmony once more. The age of fossil fuels is fading. Investors look to green energy, and companies compete to build cleaner futures. The world economy, slow to move, begins to turn its gears towards sustainability. Across continents, young voices rise in protest. They march, they speak, they refuse silence. They are the generation that will live longest with the choices made today, and they demand action, not promises. For all the destruction, there is still hope. Forests regrow when protected. Coral reefs recover when left untouched. Wildlife returns when given space. Nature's resilience is its quiet miracle, and its greatest lesson to us. Slowly, the world awakens to a simple truth: we are not separate from the earth, we are part of it. Every act, every tree planted, every emission reduced, every mind changed matters. The story of climate change is not only a story of loss, it is a story of transformation. The earth has endured fire and ice before. It has renewed itself after darkness, and from every end, found a beginning. As we live through this age of heat, we are witnesses and participants in the next great turning of the planet. The winds are shifting, the seas are rising, and the forests are whispering. They ask us not for pity, but for partnership. If the planet is on fire, then it is also alive with the potential to recover, to adapt, and to begin again. Because, in the end, life always finds a way. I am Muskan Babar, and you are watching my YouTube channel FactZone.